Hey guys, Mike Donato here from Faema, Canada, and today we're going to be talking about Jura's latest machine, the J8. Let's unbox our brand new Jura J8. We have our pull tab. This piece will come upright. 1, 2, 3. So what comes with this machine? We have our scoop, filter extension, Claris Smart Filter, 2-pack cleaning tablet, our user's manual, and something we're going to be talking about a little bit later, our 2-pump syrup attachment. We're going to lift off the lid here, set this aside, take off our little veil, and let's get the machine out of the box here. There's one more piece here. I just got to pull the machine out to grab it. There we go. This is where you're going to find your milk cleaning system and your cleaning tabs. And here is our brand new Jura J8 in piano black. Let's talk about some of the new design elements on the Jura J8. So first we have our piano black colorway, ultra high gloss. You have beautiful chrome accents on both the spouts, your milk spouts, the tray, the top of the machine, the bean cover lid. And to my left here I have the midnight silver option. This is a more matte colorway with the same type of chrome accents throughout. It's a very beautiful machine, striking design. It's got a bit of a rounded edge to it. I really like the way this looks. It gives it a lot of significance. I think it's a beautiful looking machine. Now some other features on the J8. We have a 1.9 liter water tank that's front loading. So if you have a valence, very easy to grab and pull your machine. You'll notice I do have my Claris Smart Filter in there as well with the extension. I have my 280 gram bean container on the top. Now this machine is using a new grinder. We're gonna touch on that later. Really cool stuff there. In addition to that, I have my drip tray on the front. This is removable, coffee grounds container, and any liquids are caught on the bottom, just like all the other Jura machines. Before moving forward, let's talk about some of the accessories we're using with our new J8 today. I have my HP3 milk tube. I have my 1 liter cool control. I have my slimline cup warmer and my beautiful crystal Jura glasses. Obviously, we'll be using our Faema coffee, which is our favorite. And a new addition, which you may have noticed to this display, is some syrups. We use our Faberly syrups. Now you might be asking, why is that there? Well, there's a new innovation we're going to be talking about called sweet foam, which is amazing. Jura has now developed a milk foamer to actually infuse flavored syrups into your milk. Now some people might say, well, you know, I could just pour it in. Try the difference. Pouring it, stirring it, and going through that function versus actually infusing every drop of milk with the foam, there's a massive difference there. We're going to touch upon that a little bit later. Let's talk about one of the cooler features on this machine, the coffee eye system. What this one actually will do is it'll recognize where you're going to put the cup and adjust the products on the screen for that instance. So for example, if I were to take my espresso cup here and put it right on the tray, automatically you'll see the coffee eye come up and all of my milk drinks that would be prepared on the right-hand side immediately disappear. So it makes it very intuitive. Now, if I were to switch my cup to this side, the coffee eye will recognize that. It knows there's no central cup here, and automatically my milk drinks will reappear on the screen, essentially indicating that now we can make a milk drink. My cup is in the right position. This makes it so easy to use, especially for people who have never used a Jura machine before. I really like this feature and function. Now, moving forward, another great feature and one of the coolest parts about this machine and innovation has to be sweet foam. This is something I'm so excited about. It's such a cool feature. Essentially what the machine does is it has a separate component that attaches to your frother. You can actually fill up with different flavored syrups, whatever you like, cinnamon, caramel, vanilla, and it'll infuse every drop of milk in your milk drink with that syrup. Now I know some people might be saying, well, yeah, you know, just pour the syrup in. It's not the same. Trust me, we've tried it both ways. When you actually infuse the milk, you get that perfect flavor. It is incredible. Now this is the component right here. The machine will come with 2 of them. It's a 2-piece system. So essentially you have your lid, this is what connects to the machine, and your base. Now you'll notice on the base there's 3 lines. All you need to do is fill this up with your syrup, connect it to the machine, and start your sweet foam drink. I'm using our Faberly syrups. Really great product. They make a ton of different flavors and styles, made in Italy. Highly recommend trying it. You can get them at faema.ca. So my first step would be selecting my 4 bars up here. I'm going to collect the S, which signifies sweet foam. You'll notice you have a yellow S that comes up on the screen. I'm gonna get my cup ready, and I'm gonna select cappuccino. Now that I've selected it, it's gonna ask me to remove my traditional milk spout, take my syrup-filled piece, connect this guy, so super easy, super quick, and click next. Immediately your machine's gonna start grinding. Right after that, heat itself up for the thermal block. It's then gonna start drawing milk from my cool control. That milk is gonna come through the frother, get foamed, immediately enter the syrup chamber, get infused with that beautiful vanilla syrup taste, and then get poured right into my cup. Now I'm gonna get a great infusion, a really nice vanilla-based coffee, a great espresso right after. This is something that's so cool, I'm really excited about. I think a lot of people are gonna really like this feature. Of course, you don't necessarily need to use it, purely up to you. For me, I think it's a must-have. So once it stops, it now is gonna pour my coffee. Just like all the other machines, you have your secondary spout in the back. It's gonna grind the coffee, brew it into my cup. I have it set for 3 ounces. Probably a little bit too long for this glass, so I'm gonna adjust it with my dial here. Now what you'll start to notice is my beautiful triple layering. I have my vanilla infused foam. I'm so excited to try this. It looks and smells so good. I'm gonna take this here. You can even tell just looking at the milk that there is something different there. This is amazing. Like, this is something that's so cool. I love it. The flavor is great. It's not too strong. And again, you can play with that depending on the sweetness you like, how much flavor you like. And I definitely would recommend trying the difference between just pouring it in versus the infusion. This is incredible. Such a cool feature. I definitely think it's something you guys are gonna love. Now the new Jura J8 can make up to 31 different beverages, but you all know my favorite is the espresso, so we're obviously gonna have to try that. Now talking about the espresso brings us into our next innovation on this machine, which is the Professional Aroma Grinder 2 Plus. Now what that actually does is quite a few different things. It's got some Formula One inspiration where it actually, after every shot, will decompress. Essentially it'll unwind. That way you can change the grind setting for each different drink. Now why that's important is different drinks are brewed better at different types of grind consistencies. So for example, espresso finer, anything more Americano based, maybe a little bit coarser, and it depends on the coffee you're using as well. But this machine gives you the flexibility to actually change that between every single drink. Let's try an espresso and see how that works. I'm gonna get my espresso cup. Immediately my coffee eye is gonna kick on. It knows I'm gonna be making a coffee. It's gonna bring up all my coffee drinks. Now, because I had made a milk drink at a milder intensity and consistency, when I go to click my espresso, it's gonna prompt me to actually adjust the grinder. So I'm gonna bring it right to the intense setting, which is gonna be a finer grind. I'm gonna get more aroma in my cup. Now this machine also uses PEP and the 3D brewing technology. It'll automatically preheat between your cups. You're always gonna get a hot, perfect espresso. There's no more wasting any cups in between or draining one. Always perfect. Once that process is done, my grinder is gonna kick right on, immediately start to grind. I again set it to the highest intensity for my espresso. I'm gonna get more aroma in my cup. Once it's done grinding, it's gonna use its PEP system to automatically brew right through it and give me a perfect espresso. Now, if you listen closely, there's a noise you're gonna hear, and that's the grinder actually unwinding. Now, it unwinds for 2 specific reasons. 1, it helps with grinder retention, so it's gonna lower that. And 2, it allows you to adjust it in between different cups for different drinks. So now I have my beautiful espresso coming out. I have it set to 1.5 ounces. I can see the body, the crema. Everything looks amazing on this. I am so excited to try it. And when you look at that, it's just like you can see the heat coming off the cup. The body, the crema on this, the color, the cascading effect is almost too hot to actually hold. Incredible, incredible. Obviously what we've come to expect from Jura, this is a fantastic espresso. Wow, I'm really blown away by this. So now that we've talked about some of the new innovations and groundbreaking technology on the J8, I want to touch base on some of the other features that I really like that you can find on some other machines as well. So we have our double shot function. If you really like strong espresso, I love that feature. It's as simple as clicking the 4 bars, hitting my extra shot, and it'll automatically show me what's available for my extra shot function. I also have the true Americano. You'll notice there's a 3rd spout here. So if I actually make an Americano, it'll give me a very authentic double shot of espresso and my hot water on top of that. So for people who love that traditional Americano, you're gonna get that with this machine. And finally, who can forget our updated milk foamer. So what they've done now is essentially change the picture, so now you can simply slide between milk foam on the left-hand side and steam milk on the right-hand side. Now you can do that during preparation of your drink, and you can play with the consistency of how much foam you essentially want or how much steamed milk you essentially want. So now that we've talked about our machine, made a couple of drinks, let's talk about the menu, programming, and customization. So it's really simple. All you need to do is select the gear on this side here. You have your maintenance options and your menu options. I'm going to select my gear and get into my menu. Now here I have my coffee eye function first. You can activate or deactivate it. I definitely recommend leaving this on. I love this feature. Absolutely think it's worth using. Product names. So you can turn the names on or off on your home screen. If you turn them off, the primary advantage is bigger pictures. If you turn them on, obviously you get the label. I like having them on, especially for people coming to my house who haven't used the machines before. Super easy, super simple. The next thing you have is number of start screens. So from here, I can actually adjust how many home screen options I want. Purely up to you, depending on how many drinks you want to show. Now I have my number of products on the screen. I like to set it to 5. I like to have a big central one and kind of 4 flanking. Again, up to you and how you want to set up the machine. More design and aesthetics. Wi-Fi connection, so the machine comes with the Wi-Fi Connect. So if you want to use the Jura J8 app, fantastic, super cool. You can follow and track your machine. I love it. You can definitely use that with this machine. Just set it up at initiation. Switch off after. Great function. Primary concern there is energy saving mode. So essentially, if the machine isn't used for X time that you set, it'll automatically shut itself down. I have mine set for 30 minutes. We're all about sustainability here, so for us it's important. Now for you at home, it might be 4 hours, it might be 15 minutes. You're gonna have to kind of find the machine and like the times you're using the machine and figure that out. Again, purely up to you. Going back, language, so if you wanna learn a different language, you can set the machine in different languages. You also have your factory settings. Now there's 3 different pages of menu options. I just have to select the top. I can set the hardness of the machine, so the water hardness, depending on when I need to descale and make certain changes like that. Milliliters and ounces. So I like to run my machines in ounces, and the reason for that is you're gonna be going up in half-ounce increments as opposed to milliliters where it's a 5 millimeter increment. So making changes, if you're doing like very small changes, is fine. But if you wanna go from something large to small, then I think ounces is more advantageous for most people. Accessories, so if you're gonna be using your Wi-Fi Connect with your pool control, you can set that up. It'll tell you and the machine will notify you when you're running low on milk, when you're out of milk. Display, I have my display set to 100%, so I like the ultra brightness. I love it to stand out. Depends on your lighting, depends on your kitchen and where it's going. That's something you'll have to determine. Product counter and maintenance counter, so with those, I really love the product counter feature because I like to kind of flex and be like, hey, I made 20,000 cups on my machine. Really, it's just kind of a cool thing to see the lifespan and what you've done, and even calculate your savings on other things like going to coffee chains or using pods or capsules or different things. Really cool little feature, I love that. Same with maintenance. Your operating instructions and your aroma control. So the aroma control is something you can turn off, like I mentioned. So that's essentially adjusting the grinder between shots. The machine will give you your recommendation. You can obviously skip that, purely up to you. I love that feature. I keep it on and I would use it. But again, depends on your situation, how you drink your coffee. And on my third and final menu screen, I have my rinsing, my system information, and empty system. Empty system is not something you'd really do. I mean, if you're leaving the machine and not using it for a prolonged period of time, you'd essentially empty all the water and liquid out of it. That'll stop if there's freezing or below 0 temperatures and things inside can freeze, expand, crack, and impact the machine. Not something you really need to worry about unless you're actually moving this around or in extremely cold environments or storing it, that sort of thing. And that's all my menu options. Now let's discuss programming. Super, super easy on this guy. All you gotta do is find your drink. Let's look at my cappuccino, push and hold, and immediately it's gonna bring up all of your product settings. So from this screen here, I can go to my product settings, my name. If I wanna customize it and make it Mike's Cappuccino and this is how I like it, I can do that. Let's go into my product settings. And in here is where I can actually adjust my preferred method of consistency of grind, how strong I want my coffee, how much milk foam I want with my drink, how much coffee I want, and the temperature. So it's very easy to kind of scroll through those options, set it up based on what you like, and automatically make that drink every single time. Now, while the drink is being prepared, you can increase or decrease the amounts. It's not going to affect your program, but it'll allow you to make one-time changes and adjustments to your drinks. I like that feature too, so if someone wants a really big cup or really small cup, you can accommodate that and then not have to worry that your following cup will be, oh, where did I leave it at? It's always gonna be the same. Great feature, I really love the programming on this. Now, you can actually also set a drink to be permanently sweet foam, permanently extra shot, purely up to you. Another great feature on this unit is the fact that I have my pre-ground bypass. So if you have decaf drinkers or you want to try different coffees, you can always bypass your grinder, use your pre-ground, and make whatever you like. Now that wraps up pretty much everything on our J8. My personal take on this machine is I'm so blown away. I really love the sweet foam. I think it's so cool. It's such a nice thing, especially if you have people that aren't really like huge coffee drinkers and they kind of like that sweetness. Something you can add, and you can experiment with different things. It gives you more flexibility and freedom to try your coffees. In addition to that, the new grinder is so cool. The fact that you can adjust it between shots, and I really love the noise it makes when it actually unwinds itself. So cool, such a great feature, and obviously design. This machine just kind of has this significance to it, the way it sits on your counter, the way it looks, the sleek lines. I love the piano black. Obviously it depends on the design of your kitchen and where it's gonna sit, but I'm truly blown away by every single feature on this machine. Anyways guys, that wraps up our video today. Don't forget to check out www.faema.ca for all your Jura product needs, Fabry syrup needs, Faema coffee needs, and finally our Instagram @Faema_Canada for some cool and fun content. Thanks for watching, have a great day.